What's going on, Empire Builders? It is Brian Downard here, your host of Laptop Empires. We're at episode number 41. Now, today I want to talk about 3 different ways that you can use content marketing to attract inbound leads for your freelance or consulting business. Now, I'm really excited and passionate about this topic because I've been creating content for a long time. And in the beginning, and even still up until last year and recently, I've just been feeling like content marketing wasn't the best place to spend my time initially. Now, I want to say this before we dive into all of this. If you need clients like right away and you want to start earning money right away, this is not the best path. I got tons of other great videos in this show in the past that I talked about ways that you can go get clients a lot quicker, things like outreach, going to events, and those types of things. But what I've talked about in the past too is when you go to a client and you try and chase them, you're on the hook to prove that what you want to ultimately sell them actually works. When they come to you as an inbound lead, they're already qualified. They already want to work with you. They trust you and they liked your content enough to reach out. That's why content marketing is, even though a long-term strategy, super, super powerful and something you shouldn't ignore in your business. Now, before I talk about the 3 different ways that you can use content to acquire new clients and attract new clients, let's talk a little bit about the process you need to go through and the mindset that you're going to need to get into when you're creating this content. Now, when you create content, it should be with the goal to educate and inspire your target audience. So you want to speak to their pains, the current situation that they're probably in, and then the outcomes in the future and what that could possibly look like. Of course, your content educates them along some of the tips and strategies and things to get there, just like this video, and just like this content I'm producing. I'm not going crazy in depth. I'm just giving you the information you need to be a better marketer and go out and start doing things better on your own. And then, of course, for those who want deeper, more in-depth connections to me and resources and trainings, I've got premium content. And for you, that might be your services. So in the same way, you just want to be creating content that, regardless if it's free or premium, that speaks to the pains, desires, problems, all of those things your target audience has, and then helps them solve and overcome that. Now, typically you want to reserve the really, really advanced nitty-gritty stuff for your premium content. And again, consider your target audience. I've got different target audiences. Here on the show, this is a lot of marketers, freelancers, and consultants, so I can get a little more in-depth. I can talk about the nitty-gritty in some cases. But if I was creating this content for a business owner who, a local business owner like a veterinarian or something like that, I'd keep it very, very high level. I wouldn't get into the nitty-gritty. I would just show them the general approach and then a call to action that gets them excited to learn more. So make sure you keep that in mind, because if you are just trying to go too in-depth or confuse your target audience, you might be alienating those people. So what I also want to recommend you do is, while you're creating content, create it in multiple formats. Create videos, create blog posts. You can extract audio from your videos, do like a little podcast, but create it and publish it in different ways. My 2, well, really 3 main ways of creating content are written blog posts, and then visual, like infographics, ebooks, and checklists, and then videos. So those are my 3 ways that I create, or types of content that I create. And it's important to diversify, because you'll reach different types of people who have the same needs and desires. So people who are in the same audience, but that just resonate with different types of content. Some people might prefer to listen to podcasts. Some people like videos, or some people hate videos. Some people want to read everything. So make sure you're producing your content in multiple ways that reaches these people. And then something else I really want to recommend that you do is, don't worry so much about your views. In the beginning, you're not going to have a lot of views. You're not going to have a lot of website traffic, and that's okay. I don't want that to discourage you. We all start out at 0. Even if right now you go onto my YouTube channel and look, some of my latest videos don't have a ton of views yet, but that's okay. And here is the reasoning. What'll happen is, over time, as you do this consistently and as you create more stuff, of course your audience will naturally grow, but you'll have people who will come across you for the first time, stumble onto your site, your show, your blog, whatever, they'll see what you've written or what you've created, and they'll fall in love. And they'll go consume everything that you've ever done, and all of a sudden, they're a raving fan. So it's got this multiplier effect where if you just give up after 10, 20 videos or a couple of blog posts, and then you say, oh, well, no one saw those, that didn't work. That's not a great attitude to have. You need to be producing this for yourself at first, still trying to provide value for other people, but making sure that you're not obsessed with the number of views and page views or video views that you have. And why this is important is because even though my YouTube channel is still relatively new, it's gotten me clients and opportunities. I literally just closed a 3 restaurant business in Texas because someone who was a partner of the business came to my YouTube channel and loved my content. And I just got a new opportunity to create a digital product and do a masterclass for a really huge community of farmers because of the content that I had on my YouTube channel. So even though you don't have a ton of stuff, your style, your teaching, your things that you're putting out there are going to really resonate with certain people who come across that. They'll fall in love and become fans. And the last thing that you're going to want to do is make sure you're adding in a call to action in all of your content. Don't just give people stuff and say, hey, yeah, that was good, right? No, tell them what to do next. And in most cases, that might be downloading a lead magnet, maybe booking a phone call, but just don't leave them hanging. Give them a very, very specific thing that they should be doing after that. Okay, so now that we have laid that groundwork and we've talked about that, let's talk about the 3 different ways that you can use content to acquire customers. Now, the first way is really, really simple, and it's just sending your content directly to your prospects. Now, an example of this is I had a real estate agent that I worked with last year, and before she came on as a client, we were going back and forth. What can you do? Show us your past work, blah, blah, blah. And they were really interested in email marketing automations. So I have this infographic that's got 5 different email automation sequences, all for different purposes, from nurturing leads to pitching products to nurturing new customers who just signed up, like a follow-up sequence for customers, and these different sequences that we could use that are very powerful and useful for a person's business. So that infographic on my site, maybe gets a couple of views every day. But I took that link, sent it directly to this prospect, and that was what sealed the deal. She saw that I had a deep understanding of what she wanted to accomplish because I had created content around that. Now, I had done a lot of email automations in the past, so that's why I knew that this infographic would be important to create. So again, that's another reason why you shouldn't be so caught up with the views and how many page views and all of those things. Use these assets you've created as tools during your sales process. So when people have objections or questions, you can send them this content. And case studies is one of the best examples of this. People want tangible results. They want outcomes. So when you can send them a case study, it shows them that you know exactly how to do what you're claiming you can do. It's a really powerful way to earn their trust and their business, because now you're not just telling them, you're showing them. And that is a huge shift where you can show someone something and it's not coming directly out of your mouth, then it's going to be a lot more powerful and they're going to trust you a lot quicker. So that is the first tip, is when you create content, whether it's videos, written, infographics, whatever, make sure that you're manually sending that to the right people that would help them push them along in your sales process, okay? Now, the next thing you can do is focus on long tail keywords. Now, I don't want to dive too much into search engine optimization here. It's a very, very, specific, detailed type of marketing. And if you want to learn more about that, there's plenty of better places and people to learn from than me. But what you can do is focus on long tail keywords. Now, that might be, for example, local veterinarian Facebook ads. So it's maybe not the longest keyword, but it's longer, right? And it's very specific. Now, I have a case study on my website that's all about Facebook ads for veterinarians. And if you go Google Facebook ads for veterinarians, veterinarian Facebook ads, and variations of that, I come up in the search results, like on the first page, and usually in the top 3 results. I also have a patio furniture case study on Facebook ads. So if you go type in home and garden Facebook ads or patio furniture Facebook ads, like my blog post and case study come up. I literally 2 months ago got this really, really hot lead. We're still in talks right now. Someone might be buying their business, but he was going on the internet searching for case studies on patio furniture marketing, and he came across my site. So when you can choose keywords that you know people are searching for, go ahead and use Google's keyword tool. And if you don't want to be that advanced, you can literally just go into Google and start to type stuff in and then see what it suggests. So, there's all those different variations of things that it'll auto suggest. Go type that stuff in and see what comes up, and you'll start to get a real sense of what people are searching for. Make sure you write content around that, and yeah, if it's written well enough, you can rank on the first page pretty easily. I know a huge part about search engine optimization, if you know much about that, is building backlinks from other websites to your content. I barely do that. I just make sure that my content is the best, the most in-depth, most well-written piece of content on that keyword, and that usually helps me get to the first page pretty easily. So that is the second way I recommend you get more leverage out of your content. When you produce it, focus on keywords your target audience searches for, and then they'll come across you while they're online. And the third way I recommend you using your content is through social media, but not just posting it on Facebook and Twitter and hoping that people come across that. More specifically, you should be republishing your content on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn has its own publishing platform where you not only can post status updates like you would on another social site, but you can actually publish articles. So LinkedIn, really wants to build up this database of business articles. And what you can do is take content you've already written, produced, whatever, and syndicate it, meaning just take it off of YouTube, take it off of Facebook, take it off of your blog, and put it as an article into LinkedIn. The real power here is when you publish those, every single one of your LinkedIn connections is going to get a notification that you published that. So I just got off of an interview with Eric Lurs, and that is going to be published tomorrow for Laptop Empires. But he was talking about how he uses his LinkedIn to go connect with everyone in his target audience, and then he regularly publishes and syndicates his content on LinkedIn, and make sure, of course, getting into copywriting here, but make sure that headline is really catchy. It's really, targeted at a specific group of people. And when he publishes that, people hit him up all the time and even refer new business to him because they're getting this notification. So it's one thing to build an email list and promote to them. That's great, but LinkedIn is almost in the same way a version of list building, because you can build these connections with people, and once they're a connection, they're going to see every single time you publish something. So I hope this advice has been very helpful. Again, 3 different ways you can utilize content marketing to acquire new clients. First, send it to them manually. The second way is optimize it for search engines. And the third is make sure you're using tools like LinkedIn to really get it out to a wider audience and more people who you have in your space. Now, I know I said this at the beginning, but I want to make sure I reiterate. If you are looking for clients today and you need to go get new business right away, this isn't the tactics that I would recommend, but it is a long-term strategy that has great effects. Earlier this year, I was feeling a little bit of a drag in my business, and I was finding it hard to do outreach, but the content that I had produced last year and into the year before even was starting to produce results for me and get new leads and clients in the door. So it is a long-term play, but it is extremely valuable and can have long-term benefits for your business. So what I want to encourage you to do, if you haven't yet, start creating content. Pick a medium you're most comfortable with. I hated video at first. I hated getting on camera. I tried to be perfect. I would misspeak and get really angry at myself and just toss out the whole video. But you have to start somewhere. Personally, I like video because it's easy. I can hop on the camera, I can hit record, I can just talk, and I'm producing pretty solid content. Now, I've gotten away from writing, but the bottom line is pick a medium you're most comfortable with and get started, because the sooner you get started, the quicker you're going to be able to build up this audience of people and have people come across you who will become fans and want to be clients. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Laptop Empires. I'm Brian Downard. This has been episode number 41. If you like what you're hearing here, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my Facebook page, depending on where you're watching this, and then we can make sure we stay connected and you can get all of the latest content. Until next time, though, guys, peace out.